Okay, let's finally talk about Stranger Things and intelligence history. And I'm going to start with Alan Turing a little bit. And I know that people have done Alan Turing to death at this point, but I have to talk about him first. Otherwise, none of this is going to make sense. Because I don't know what the Stranger Things writers did to accomplish what they've done with this show, but it's incredible. So, they've somehow run the gamut of intelligence history as it relates to cryptanalysts, from like the end, like mid World War II, even the start of World War II, World War One even, but really World War II is the focus, and then gone into like the Cold War and today with cybersecurity, which started in the 80s. So what I'm going to do is just briefly touch on a couple things. I know my lighting's terrible, but it's like 4 in the morning, and I am so amped up about this right now because I was talking about theories and stuff on Tumblr of all places, and like, kudos to the Tumblr folks. Like, you guys have like rejuvenated my creativity, and I have been trying for years at this point to try to work in like Cold War history as it relates to myself, and I've been having a really hard time with that. But Stranger Things just cracked something open in my brain, and so we're here now, and that's what we're doing. So, as Dr. Brenner says, journey with me into the past. So, let me move a couple things here, and I literally have like, I have 2 full notebooks, and I'm gonna try to keep this right at an hour. So let's get started. So I had a whole presentation of like basically a college level walkthrough of this is Alan Turing, this is Bletchley Park, yada yada. But as I went on a month ago, I kept running into various theories, and every time I came across a new theory as it related to conformity gate, I discovered more and more cryptologic history. And I made a little video a couple days ago about how the cryptologic history that I discovered a couple days ago actually relates back to what my dad did in the Cold War. And that was mind-blowing for me because, like, I've, besides Hunt for Red October, which has been haunting me my entire life, I've never seen anything like this. So, just to give you a preview, this is what it was supposed to look like, but we're going to talk about all this anyway. Notice I did the blue and yellow. And, the subtitle here is very Dr. Strangelove coded. I'm wondering if Ted Wheeler might be Tom Clancy. I don't think he actually is, but you'll see why. What I'm gonna do though is just go through this literal photo album that I have, and we're gonna go from there. Because the way that my brain has been for the past 2 weeks, I haven't been able to, like, I'm really good at just bouncing ideas off, or if I have to give a speech, I'm better if I can just, like, do it freehand, basically. But if I had to follow a script, like, we're gonna be here for hours, so I want to get started first with, Alan, and I want to get started with, the bomb. So this is the bomb. The bomb is the result of the Bletchley Park workers from World War II. They were in England, and this machine here, there's actually one in the Fort Meade Cryptologic Museum. I got to see it a couple years ago. It's huge. I mean, it's not like huge, but it's definitely not like, it's like the size of a bookshelf, I would say. And the insight is really neat because if you've ever seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, um, it has these little like memory slots, and like these are where the little electronics would be, and then also like the little vacuum tubes, and of course all the wiring. Now, one of the light bulbs that went off in my head a couple of weeks ago, after I watched season 5, was that Vecna and his whole setup in season 4 when he's in the house. So when he's like this, he literally looks like the bomb, right? He looks like he's all wired up, okay? And I don't think that that's a mistake. Or I don't think that that's not an allusion to Alan Turing and the bomb. And so I know there's been a couple people on my page that they've been wanting, in particular, they've been wanting my theory about like what the AI and like Blade Runner type situations going on, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. I just want to show you something else here. So here's more of the wiring. Sorry, I have like, I'm not sick, the weather's been weird. It's been like 0 degrees, and now yesterday it was like 65 and all kinds of humidity. So I want you to note this is the Bletchley Park Intelligence Corps pin that basically everyone got for working at Bletchley Park. And you'll notice the crown and then also the flower. So this is a rose, it's a primrose, and we're going to come back to that as well. And I do want to point out now that the primrose very much resembles a demogorgon. I mean, and orchids resemble the demogorgon as well, and some other flowers. But that symbol in particular, this is how we're going to move through this presentation. I'm literally just going to connect everything together for you, okay? And then if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and then I'll get back to you. So the primrose, this is a U.S. Marine battalion, and they do like intelligence work on the ground. They might have other theaters that they use, but notice the flower in the middle and the sword. Okay, so we've got that down. We got Vecna looking like he's hanging up with a bag of Twizzlers here, or vines. Now, Alan Turing in particular is a fascinating character because he was a gay man during World War II, and he was greatly affected by, being gay, and unfortunately the government treated him pretty bad up until, he ended up having to get castrated, and then he probably died by his own hand, but there's speculation that he might have just accidentally poisoned himself, so I don't know. But he was very, very smart. Once he was finished, I don't want to say finished with cryptanalysts, because he ended up coming to America to like help us with our stuff. He switched fields, I would say, and he helped basically pave the way for encryption and computer programming as we know it today, and also theoretical biology.